evening, you're watching Brass Tacks. I'm Ridhima Bhatnagar. It was a day of summons, dharna and political posturing. The Aam Aadmi Party went full throttle after Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia was summoned by the CBI in the alleged Liquorgate scam. The AAP reiterated their narrative of this being a witch hunt and political vendetta. Before reaching the CBI office, Manish Sisodia visited Rajghat and addressed his party workers, saying that he is ready for this Qurbani for his country. The BJP unexpected line slammed the AAP for trying to create a distraction against the allegations of possible quid pro quo. So was this really a fair investigation, or was this harassment by misusing agencies? That's the question that we'll take to our guests in just a bit, but first the story.
2 months after CBI officials raided his residence in connection with irregularities in the Delhi government's excise policy, Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia was summoned for questioning by the agency. And the Aam Aadmi Party pulled out all stops to turn the summons into a show of strength. Sisodia left home after a tilak ritual, accompanied by top leaders of the party. As AAP workers lined the streets, he took out a roadshow in an open-roof SUV, waving to the crowds. He declared that his arrest was imminent due to upcoming elections in Gujarat.
ये लोग मुझे जेल में डालने की तैयारी इसीलिए कर रहे हैं क्योंकि इनको लगता है कि मैं गुजरात जाऊंगा तो लोगों के स्कूल बनने की उम्मीद और मजबूत होगी। गुजरात में भारतीय जनता पार्टी बुरी तरह से हार रही है और आम आदमी पार्टी की सरकार बनने वाली है।
Sisodia even made a stop at Mahatma Gandhi's memorial and compared himself to the father of the nation.
जिस तरह से बापू को षड्यंत्र में फंसा के अंग्रेजों की सरकार ने झूठे मुकदमे कर करके जेल में भेजा, आज मेरे ऊपर भी एक फर्जी मुकदमा करके मुझे जेल भेजने की तैयारी की जा रही है।
Finally, Sisodia made his way inside CBI's headquarters, where he was presented with evidence in the case and statements of the other accused. As he was questioned, AAP workers gathered outside CBI's office, raising slogans and protesting against the summons. Several AAP leaders were promptly detained by the police.
The senior police officials are on the ground. The SHO, local SHO from this area, Lodi Colony area, is now making announcements asking them to vacate from this location. The Vajra Vahan has also been placed in position.
AAP convener and Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal firmly put his weight behind his deputy, even tweeting a cartoon depicting Sisodia as a hero.
अभी उन्होंने गुजरात आना था, लेकिन आज इन लोगों ने मनीष सिसोदिया को गिरफ्तार कर लिया। वो नहीं चाहते कि मनीष सिसोदिया गुजरात में जाके चुनाव का प्रचार करें। मैं मनीष जी को कहना चाहता हूं, आप चिंता मत करो, आपके ना आने से प्रचार बंद नहीं होने वाला। ये सारी जनता प्रचार कर रही है, घर घर जाके प्रचार कर रही है।
The BJP claimed AAP is behaving like it has won the World Cup of corruption.
ये जश्न भ्रष्टाचार है। जिस प्रकार से मनीष सिसोदिया आज एक खुले कार में अपने समर्थकों के साथ नारे लगाते हुए, फूल माला डाले हुए निकले हैं, it seems as if the Aam Aadmi Party has won the World Cup of corruption.
Sisodia is accused number 1 in CBI's FIR on the now scrapped excise policy, which handed over the sale of liquor to private players, shutting down government-run outlets in the capital. So is it political vendetta, or is the law catching up with Manish Sisodia?
So now we're understanding Manish Sisodia's questioning has ended for the day. He's in fact left the CBI headquarters after being grilled for over 9 hours. Remember, the questioning started somewhere around 11 a.m. this morning. Sources are now telling CNN News 18 that he in fact has not been called for questioning again. What we're also understanding is the CBI will evaluate the answers that he's given before deciding the next course of action. My colleague Arunima now joining us from outside the CBI headquarters. She's been tracking all these developments for us all day long. So Arunima, the big update, one, Manish Sisodia in fact has left the CBI headquarters. But what is interesting is, as of now, he's not been called for questioning again. What are sources within the CBI telling you? Are they convinced with the kind of answers that they've gotten today?
say that. What they're saying at this stage is that, this was technical investigation. There are paper trails that were put forward, papers that Mr. Sisodia were shown. So his answers will have to be evaluated. His answers will have to be matched with those being given by his co-accused like Vijay Nair, Abhishek Bonapalli, and also the answers that Mr. Mahindra has given to the Enforcement Directorate. So this will take time. Perhaps a week later, 15 days later, at a later date, you will hear Mr. Sisodia being asked to come back again to the CBI headquarters. But at this stage, what the CBI is saying is that we have let him go for today, and we will have to evaluate his answers and then take a call about the next course of action. Of course, politics that we have seen about this case could play out once again. Mr. Sisodia repeatedly was asked by me when he was leaving if he wanted to say anything, if he had any comments to make. But we are now hearing that once he reaches his residence, perhaps he was going to address the press. Here, when he left, the broad smile was the only answer that he had to give to me.
Arundama, quickly, also, what are sources within the CBI telling you? What was the kind of line of questioning that we saw with Manish Sisodia?
So he was asked about the excise policy. He was asked about how they decided upon coming up with this policy, because the charge is that without taking the right consent from the authorities concerned, this policy was brought about. So why was that done? Does he know people who are supposed to be his close aides, like Vijay Nair, for example? How does he know them? The money trail that the CBI has alleged that people close to him, like Mr. Arjun Pandey, Vijay Nair, were receiving benefits in terms of cash from ultimate beneficiaries of the excise policy. Why was this money routed to them is what CBI wants to know. So he was asked about what Vijay Nair has said about his association with the Aam Aadmi Party, his association with Manish Sisodia. CBI wants to cross-check if the two answers are similar or they're completely divergent, because that will give them some insight as to who's lying.
Absolutely. Arundama, thanks a lot for getting us all those details. So we'll really have to see, as Arundama pointed out, as of now, sources within the CBI telling CNN News 18 that Manish Sisodia has not been called for questioning. A new date hasn't been given. They'll evaluate the answers as of now. This is also a time that we want to break down some details in terms of what was the line of questioning that was used by the CBI. What were these pertinent questions that were posed to Manish Sisodia? First, of course, is when was the implementation of the excise policy decided? More importantly, if there was so much faith in this policy, why was there a U-turn? Other aspect is, do you know Vijay Nair? He's somebody who's already been arrested, and Sameer Mahindra as well. Vijay Nair, of course, the Aam Aadmi Party time and again has said that was just somebody who was handling communication.
दिल्ली में 10,000 करोड़ का एक्साइज घोटाला हुआ, लेकिन आज मैंने सीबीआई में जाके देखा, मैंने देखा कि कोई घोटाला तो वहाँ है ही नहीं, घोटाले की तो कुछ मसला ही नहीं है वहाँ पे, सारा केस फर्जी है। मैं जानता हूं सारा केस फर्जी है, और आज मैंने सीबीआई में 9 घंटे की पूछताछ के दौरान 9 घंटे जो मैं रहा वहां पे, वहां भी मैं समझ गया कि किस तरह से सारा केस फर्जी है और किस तरह से इन्होंने पूरी साजिश की गई है। आज मुझे समझ में आया कि इन्होंने सीबीआई में केस किसी घोटाले की जांच के लिए नहीं करा रखा, इन्होंने सीबीआई में जो मेरे खिलाफ केस करा रखा है वो दिल्ली में एक्चुअली ऑपरेशन लोटस को कामयाब करने के लिए करा रखा है। ये बात पहले भी मुझे बाहर से समझ में आ रही थी, लेकिन आज अंदर जाके सीबीआई के हेडक्वार्टर में 9 घंटे तक मेरे को और समझ में आई कि किस तरह से भारतीय जनता पार्टी सीबीआई जैसी एजेंसीज को अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल तरीके से, असंवैधानिक तरीके से, गलत तरीके से दबाव बनाने के लिए यूज कर रही है। एक्साइज पे बात हुई, लेकिन मुझे आश्चर्य हुआ कि वहां भी साइड में मुझ पर दबाव बनाया गया कि आप छोड़ दो, आप में क्यों हो। मैंने कहा क्यों? बोले ये केस आपके ऊपर ऐसे ही चलते रहेंगे, नहीं तो। मैंने कहा इस केस में तो है नहीं, ये तो खत्म हो जाएंगे। तो मुझे कहा गया कि साइड में कि सत्येंद्र जैन के पास कौन से केस हैं, सत्येंद्र जैन के ऊपर कौन से सच्चे केस हैं, वो भी चल रहे हैं, 6 महीने वो जेल रह सकते हैं तो 6 महीने आप भी रह सकते हो। तो मैंने कहा बीजेपी तो बहुत गंदी पार्टी है, मैं उसके लिए आप थोड़ी छोड़ सकता हूँ। तो मुझे कहा गया कि नहीं देखो ये केस तो ऐसे ही चलते रहेंगे, दूसरा फायदा आपको वो लोग मुख्यमंत्री भी बनाएंगे फिर। तो मैंने कहा ये मुख्यमंत्री बनने के लिए थोड़ी आया हूं, मैं तो शिक्षा के लिए आया हूं यहाँ। राजनीति में हम आना नहीं चाह रहे थे, हम तो शिक्षा के लिए आए हैं, ईमानदारी से काम करने के लिए आए हैं। फिर मैंने साफ साफ बोल दिया कि भैया मुझको तो खुशी मिलती है जब दिल्ली के रिक्शे वाले का बच्चा इंजीनियर बनता है, उसमें जो खुशी मिलती है मुझे सीएम बन के खुशी नहीं मिलती। सीएम बनने के बारे में सोच के खुशी नहीं मिलती। एक दिल्ली की मेड की बच्ची जब डॉक्टर बनती है तो मुझे खुशी मिलती है। मेरा जीवन शिक्षा को समर्पित है। मैं इस तरह के ऑपरेशन लोटस के किसी दबाव में नहीं आने वाला। इनको जो करना है करें। पूरा केस फर्जी है, कहीं दूर से दूर तक कोई सच्चाई नहीं है उसमें। कोई 1 करोड़ का 1 रुपए का कहीं कोई घोटाला नहीं हुआ। ये बीजेपी वाले कहते रहे और दबाव बनाते रहे 10,000 करोड़ का घोटाला हुआ है, कोई घोटाला नहीं हुआ। आज मुझे वहां से भी समझ में आ गया।
First reaction of Manish Sisodia there after he was questioned by the CBI for over 9 hours. As of now, we're picking up by the means of sources. No new date for questioning has been given. But what has Manish Sisodia said in his first reaction speaking to the media? That this is a false case, this is a fabricated case, and he's gone on to say that this is just pressure tactics by the BJP which continue to misuse the central agencies. Let me open the floor for debate. Let me introduce our guest, spokesperson of the BJP, RP Singh. We have spokesperson of the Congress Party, Radhika Khera. We have editor ANI, Smita Prakash. We have Shantanu Sen, former joint director of the CBI. Good to have all of you on the broadcast with us. RP Singh, let me begin the discussion with you. First reaction of Manish Sisodia there coming in, speaking to the media, once again reiterating that this is a false case, this is a fabricated case. Once again, he is reiterating the fact that pressure is being built on him to leave the Aam Aadmi Party. Otherwise, cases like these will still continue.
हिंदी में कहावत है, गुनहगारी कोतवाल, कोतवाली जज. So they can be judge themselves, they can be the police themselves. So wait for the time. Let CBI send the final report on that. I mean, let them file the final charge sheet on that and let them give the details. So, but as per CBI, he is accused number 1 and he still stands as accused number 1. CBI has not shifted him from accused number 1, neither discharged him being accused number 1. Secondly, very categorical, 2 things which I have to ask to Aam Aadmi Party if there is a panelist here. 144.36 crore was waived off, the license fees was waived off between 8 December and 7 January 2021 to 2022 for 1 month when there was no corona in the city. Who authorized it and why they have to go for a post facto approval in the cabinet once they have done it? And that too after the Chief Secretary raised a red flag on that complete waiver. Secondly, that 30 crore rupees, another 1 second, 30 crore rupees earnest money, tell me which financial law or which financial systems allow you to give back the earnest money. I never heard, I mean, please quote me another example where earnest money is returned back to the party and that to a party which has given money to the government of Delhi and that 30 crore was returned. So these are the basic questions. I'm not talking about the sting operations and other things. I mean,
Okay. So let me take all those questions one by one. AAP MLA Atishi also now joining us on the broadcast. Atishi, good to also have you on the broadcast with us. Let me first begin from the basics and then we can take it down to what we've heard from Manish Sisodia just a short while ago. Let's begin with what we saw at the start of the day today. Why did we see such hysteria as far as the summon that was given to Manish Sisodia? There was an FIR. Out of the many people named in the FIR, Manish Sisodia was one of them. So many would say this questioning had to happen on some given day. And if there is nothing to hide, why not just cooperate with the investigative agencies? The reason that I'm asking you this is because something similar happened a couple of months ago when there was summons given to the Gandhis. And this is exactly the point that the Aam Aadmi Party had raised, that why are you creating optics around the investigation? Just cooperate with it.
We have cooperated with all investigations from the first day. We have welcomed all probes. There is about 30 odd probes going on against the Aam Aadmi Party at the given point of time. Every day a new probe gets added. We have cooperated with every probe. We welcome every probe. My question is simple. Why was Manish Sisodia summoned when there is absolutely no evidence that the CBI has been able to gather? It's been 2 months that Manish Sisodia's home was raided, his office was raided, his locker was raided, his ancestral village was also raided. And yet in 2 months, there is radio silence from the CBI
Atishi,
about
you're
what
smarter
did they
than
find
that.
in
It's
the
an
raids.
ongoing
And
investigation. The CBI doesn't have to put out evidence on a day-to-day basis. They can collect it and put it at the end of the investigation as well.
But please tell me, you're a senior journalist. If they had found even evidence of 100 rupees of corruption, our colleague here, Mr. RP Singh, my friend RP Singh, and all his colleagues, Mr. Shehzad Poonawala, Sambit Patra, would have been on television 24 hours a day. कि देखो, आम आदमी पार्टी के 100 रुपए के भ्रष्टाचार का ये सबूत है. So the fact that there is absolutely no evidence is clear. This is a witch hunt against Aam Aadmi Party. But as we said today morning, we are not scared. They might want to stop the work we have done in schools. They might want to stop the work we have done in Mohalla clinics. They might want to stop Manish Sisodia from going and campaigning in Gujarat. But nothing is going to stop us because the people of the country are with us.
Okay, Atishi, fair enough. I'll take that question to RP Singh and others in just a bit in terms of what is the real evidence that has been found on the ground. But I'm just asking you of the kind of optics that we saw play out today, and you would agree that optics contributes to a lot as far as politics is concerned. Do you really think people on the ground are going to be okay with the kind of hysteria they saw rather than have the Aam Aadmi Party come out and take the serious questions head on in terms of the alleged scam and the irregularities that are being pointed out? Because today the perception that is being created is that Aam Aadmi Party wants to project their leaders as some sort of martyrs with the kind of parallels being drawn to Bhagat Singh, Mahatma Gandhi, so on and so forth, but not really want to answer the irregularities or the allegations of quid pro quo.
All questions were answered, but as Manish Sisodia just shared in his press briefing, what was he asked in the CBI? The same Operation Lotus that was being planned in Delhi for the last few months, we saw a manifestation of that happening at the CBI. There, within the CBI office, he was told that if you leave Aam Aadmi Party and join the BJP, all these probes would be ended.
Atishi, even as far as that allegation was concerned, where the Aam Aadmi Party said we're going to make a sensational claim, there is offer that has been given to Manish Sisodia to jump ship, but no real proof was given.
See, it is very clear. Everybody knows who from the BJP is given these tasks. Everybody knows who. Please tell me.
So put it out. Put it out in the public domain.
Who brought him in?
Let the BJP take those answers then.
Everybody knows. Today itself, within the CBI, the same offer was made, the same threats were made, and when Manish Sisodia said that there is no evidence in this so-called scam, he was told inside the CBI, but there's no evidence against Satyendra Jain also, but still he's been in jail for 5 months. आपको भी 6 महीने आराम से जेल में डाल सकते हैं. So it is very clear why the Bharatiya Janata Party is doing it, because they are threatened by the rise of Aam Aadmi Party, by the rise of Arvind Kejriwal, by the fact that Arvind Kejriwal is emerging nationally as the challenger to Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
RP Singh, respond to what Atishi is saying. Atishi is raising 2-3 points. First point is that the CBI raided Manish Sisodia's residence. They even made him open a locker. Nothing really was found. If they had found some substantial evidence, they would have put it out in the public domain. The second is that there is a pattern that is emerging. First Satyendra Jain, now Manish Sisodia. Arvind Kejriwal also time and again has gone on to record and say that I feel I also could be the next. All of this is because today the BJP is rattled because of the kind of inroads that the Aam Aadmi Party is making. They've had electoral success in Punjab. They want to increase their foothold in other states like Gujarat and others. So this is just a rattled BJP.
Well, as far inroad goes, I would remind you for the Goa and Uttarakhand. They claimed something similar in Goa and Uttarakhand. And then this electoral game is just a shield to protect Mr. Sisodia from the scams he has done. And also, how can we forget Asim Khan? A minister was caught taking bribe. Then another gentleman named Mr. Jitendra Tomar, who was caught in a fake degree racket. I mean, let me joggle the memory. Mr. Sandeep Kumar, who was caught raping women on pretext of giving them ration cards. Oh, I am not forgetting that other man. What was that? Tahir Hussain. Writing in Delhi, Geeta some Rawat, the corporator in Sisodia's constituency, was caught red-handed taking bribe. So it's a matter of time. Wait for the time. And again, they keep babbling something or other. I appreciate. When was CBI has gone to Mr. Sisodia's ancestral house? I joggled my memory, then I joggled to Google also. And please, where is Mr. Sisodia's village? They keep babbling whatever they want to. They keep coming, propagate falsehood. The fact is,
What is the evidence?
he has to answer
What is
these
the
hardcore
evidence?
questions.
Please present what is the evidence of corruption. Have you been able to show even 1 rupee's worth of corruption?
वो सतंजर वो जी आपको आंसर देता हूँ. वो कोर्ट में सीबीआई पेश करेगी, परंतु एंसेस्टर हाउस कहां पर है जरा आप बता दीजिए. कौन सा गांव है सिसोदिया साहब का जहां सीबीआई गई थी? क्यों झूठ बोलते हैं रोज आकर, रोज बराबर 10,000 करोड़ ये वो सब क्यों बोलते हैं? सच ये है.
क्या मिल गया आरती सिंह जी? क्या मिला? 1 रुपए के भी भ्रष्टाचार का सबूत नहीं मिला, वरना आप लोग छत पे खड़े होकर चिल्ला रहे होते. 1 रुपए के भी भ्रष्टाचार का सबूत मिलता. 144.36 करोड़ रुपया 8 दिसंबर 2021 से लेकर 7 जनवरी 2022 तक का आपने वेव ऑफ किया, बिना किसी प्रोटोकॉल के, बिना किसी आपके कैबिनेट अप्रूवल के आपने वो वेव ऑफ किया. सिसोदिया साहब ने अपनी मर्जी से रेवड़ी बांटी. 30 करोड़ रुपया अर्नेस्ट मनी, मुझे बता दीजिए आप व्यापार नहीं जानती होगी, 30 करोड़ रुपया कैसे अर्नेस्ट मनी वापस आ गया, और 30 करोड़ अर्नेस्ट मनी वॉज रिटर्न टू कंपनी विच वॉज L1 without a proper cabinet approval. 180 cases. You have not been able to prove even 1 rupee worth of corruption.
अच्छा चलिए, एक और झूठ पकड़ लिया आपका, एक और झूठ पकड़ लिया.
So the question that the Aam Aadmi Party is raising is that if there was some real evidence that was found, why has that not been put out in the public domain? But the question that a lot of people like me are asking is, why did we create the optics of presenting these various AAP leaders as martyrs? Smita Prakash, I want to bring you in. This is something similar to what we saw when the National Herald case was on as well. ED summons given to the Gandhis. You have the Congress workers taking to streets. The only difference, and I'll give it to the Aam Aadmi Party here, is that there was no vandalism, at least as far as public property and others concerned. But are people on the ground ready to today buy this quote-unquote victim card or drawing these parallels to martyrs when there are very serious allegations against the Deputy Delhi Chief Minister?
No. We've gone beyond victim card or martyr card. If I'm not mistaken, I just heard that press briefing which you played out. Did Mr. Sisodia just say, and I think Atishi just confirmed, that he was told inside the CBI office that he should leave the Aam Aadmi Party? Who told him this? CBI officials told him? Or is the Aam Aadmi Party saying that BJP people were inside the CBI office making this offer to Mr. Sisodia? Because it is still unclear. What Mr. Sisodia said is that he gathered during interrogation that Operation Lotus was on, and he seems to suggest that he was offered to become Chief Minister. What is going on? Is the Aam Aadmi Party saying that BJP officials were inside the CBI office? So if they are making this charge, that means the CBI they are making this accusation against CBI officials. Please let me point out.
Yeah.
They are saying during interrogation, Mr. Sisodia was threatened or was warned that if you don't leave the Aam Aadmi Party, what you will face. I mean, this is not Bhagat Singh or Bapu or anybody else that they were saying in the morning. This is beyond this. What they are saying is that they were threatened, they were blackmailed. That is what that press conference seemed to indicate. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Atishi also confirmed just now that this kind of an offer was made. I think you need to go back to that, because I just briefly heard the press briefing just Mr. Sisodia said. So I'm sorry, this has gone beyond activism. These are shocking charges which Mr. Sisodia has made by saying that Operation Lotus was being practiced while the interrogation was on in the CBI office. That is a different thing altogether, what he is saying. So in the interrogation, was he threatened? Was he blackmailed that give up the Aam Aadmi Party and there will be no more interrogation? Is that what was said?
Adishi,
I'm really confused.
Adishi, did that conversation happen with CBI officers, with Mr. Sisodia?
See, it is very clear who are the people within the BJP who are put responsible for this, and it is also very clear that all agencies of the central government are now being used as tools for Operation Lotus. It is very clear. Please tell me, Arvind Singh ji, I have one question to you. Shubhendu Adhikari.
कौन अफसर है जिसने ये
Absolutely, Manish Sisodia ji will disclose
the
that
question
as
that is being
accounts.
raised here is that there are one serious allegations being leveled against the CBI officers only, that they actually went away from the case and there was some sort of offer that was made. Is that what the Aam Aadmi Party on record is saying, that the CBI officers went away from the questioning of the case and there was some sort of offer that was made for Manish Sisodia to jump ship? Have I heard that correctly?
That is... Yes, absolutely. That is exactly what the Deputy Chief Minister, Mr. Manish Sisodia, has just said in his press briefing. And it is a known fact that all agencies of the central government, be it the CBI, be it the ED,
Atishi, this is very interesting because we are on the same lines getting a piece of information also now coming in. Let me just take that information first. What we are now understanding is, after Manish Sisodia accused the CBI of being part of Operation Lotus by asking why he's in the party, CBI sources now refuting the claim and saying he was only asked about the case. Atishi.
See, their CBI officers are obviously not going to come on camera and say that we are stooges of the central government. It is not their fault. All officers at the CBI were always courteous, always professional with Mr. Manish Sisodia, but it is very clear that all central agencies of Bharatiya Janata Party's government are used to make people jump ship. Please recall the case of Shubhendu Adhikari. Based on his corruption, Sharda scam, chit fund scam, Bharatiya Janata Party fought multiple elections. CBI called him for questioning again and again. The minute he went into Bharatiya Janata Party, please tell me, has CBI called him even a single time for questioning after he joined the Bharatiya Janata Party?
Let's stick to the case that we are discussing, which is, as far as the alleged liquor gate scam is concerned, you have the Delhi Deputy Chief Minister named in the FIR, now called for questioning. The Delhi Deputy Chief Minister post the questioning says, CBI officers as part of that questioning made him an offer or made some sort of reference to an offer to jump ship. We also have Shantanu Sen, former Joint Director of the CBI, on the panel as well. Sir, how do you respond to the allegations that are being made by the Aam Aadmi Party and Manish Sisodia that the CBI officers actually went away from the questioning of the case, which was as far as the irregularities of the liquor gate scam is concerned, but actually spoke about an offer of Manish Sisodia to leave the Aam Aadmi Party and jump ship so that all the case against him can be dropped?
Normally, CBI is a professional investigating agency and CBI should not be doing this. But there are aberrations. I am not the one who will question Atishi. I am not the question who will question Manisha. Nor will I question Smita Prakash. They have their right to say what they say. What has happened is what they know. I, as a CBI officer, wouldn't dream of asking such a question. I wouldn't expect any CBI officer to ask any other question except relating to the investigation. If Atishi has evidence of that, if Smita Prakash has evidence to the contrary, let them come out and say so. After all, eyewitness statements have been given. Here, it is not hearsay. Manish Sisodia has said something which he claims to have heard. And whoever has told him this must be confronted.
Sure.
It is not I, as an ex-CBI officer, who can be confronted on this. I wouldn't expect CBI officer to do this, but the charge has been made. It's a serious charge, and please confront the person against whom this charge is made, if you want to know more about it.
Sure.
Otherwise, sit back and relax.
Sure. So that is something that the Aam Aadmi Party will have to present us with some sort of evidence, and we'll have to get more clarity from Manish Sisodia or the Aam Aadmi Party. But just speaking specifically as far as the case is concerned, the Aam Aadmi Party has been raising a lot of questions saying misuse of agencies is taking place. This is just harassment. But as far as a protocol of a case is concerned, you're named in the FIR. You will be questioned at some time. So there is no breach of protocol as such.
Please understand the CBI functioning has undergone a change. Please try to remember CBI functioning has undergone a change since 2018. Before that, CBI had a right to register cases on questioning. Now that right has been taken away from the CBI. 2018 17A was inserted in the Prevention of Corruption Act, and the whole scheme of prevention has been gone topsy-turvy. Formally, as a Prevention of Corruption Act, CBI could prevent corruption, could smell corruption, could inquire into corruption before the corruption took place or as it was taking place. Now that right has been taken away from the CBI because the Congress and the BJP both found that CBI questioning their public servants was making their public servants very fearful.
Sure.
They were losing their initiative. You remember, Jaswant Singh openly said, CBI, CVC, and the CAG are two great obstacles to the government servant acting boldly. So that power has been taken by an act of parliament. All the parliamentarians got together and ensured that CBI has no more any right to take up any inquiry, even an inquiry, secret verification of any act which is a corrupt act. The government will tell CBI this is corruption. And here the government has come out and told CBI the liquor policy is a corrupt practice. And the CBI has been asked to investigate.
And we'll have to see what is the kind of evidence that the CBI presents us with by the end of this investigation. Sure. I just want to bring in Radhika also, who's been patiently waiting. Radhika, I apologize for not coming to you much earlier in the show, but how does the Congress view what is played out today? One, as I was asking Smita Prakash, also the kind of hysteria that we saw around the summons that were given to Manish Sisodia, parallels being drawn, and now questions being raised on the intent of the CBI officers themselves.
You know, first of all, the Aam Aadmi Party and its leaders need to apologize to the country and offer an unconditional apology for comparing a corrupt a member of their party with first Bhagat Singh ji, and now he himself is comparing himself to Mahatma Gandhi ji. None of them were held, none of them had charges of corruption on them. So it is shameful that the country today had to witness this, that to a corrupt man and his party are calling him Mahatma Gandhi ji and Bhagat Singh ji. This is extremely, extremely appalling and is not acceptable. And the media should also force them to come out with an apology. This is something which is not acceptable. No one in the country will accept this, and it is shameful. Sometimes the chief minister will go on and say, I am Swayam, Krishan ji, Hanuman ji. What is the kind of drama they're doing? And Atishi ji herself was a part of the India Against Corruption movement. What all promises had they made to the country? Why has Mr. Manish Sisodia not resigned until he is proven not guilty? Till the time, and that was what they promised to the country, right? Why has his resignation not been taken? One of their ministers is still in jail. He has not been given bail. And every second day they are crying crocodile tears. Earlier, few days back, few months back, we saw Mr. Sisodia come out and say, and there were serious charges that they are being bought over. Their government is going to be bought out and they're going to form their government. The BJP is doing this and that. And what he has said today, like Smita ji pointed out, is extremely serious. He should come out with the name of the person. Even then, itni badi press conference kari, shoot and scoot policy of the Aam Aadmi Party. Is this what they talked about when they held the Tiranga in their hand and they said that we are against corruption? Or these are the promises that Mr. Kejriwal made, swearing on his own children?
Atishi, respond to what Radhika and the opposition at large is saying, that has the Aam Aadmi Party forgotten the intent or the promises that they made to the people when they started off? Have they moved completely away from their original ideology? Today, there are very serious allegations of irregularities, allegations of quid pro quo, allegations of close associates of Manish Sisodia being in the dock, some of them being arrested like Vijay Nair and others. There is also serious allegations of where did the money go. They were big losses to the exchequer. Why is that number not being explained?
First of all, there was no loss to the exchequer. There was no loss to the exchequer in Delhi, and the same policy in Punjab has already in the first 6 months yielded 6,000 crore rupees extra to the Punjab exchequer. Number one. Number two, why is the BJP scared of the Aam Aadmi Party? Because of the work that the Aam Aadmi Party is doing in education and healthcare. Why do they not want Manish Sisodia to go and campaign in Gujarat? Because his work on education will expose the misgovernance of BJP in the last 27 years. People in Gujarat will also say, We want schools like Delhi. We want our children to get through IIT. We want our
but
children
that's
to
exactly
get through
the problem,
medical
Atishi. Why is
examinations.
the
Even
Aam
though we are
Aadmi
poor,
Party
we deserve good
using
education.
the case and
that
the
is
summon
the
against
reason.
Manish Sisodia
That
as an
is the
opportunity to
reason
build their case
why
for elections
Bharatiya
that are
Janata
due
Party
in the
is
states? Are you
scared
using
of
this
the
as an
Aam Aadmi Party?
opportunity
Sorry.
or a stage as far as the elections in the states are concerned? Is this a distraction tactic? That's the question that is being raised.
It is very clear. It is very clear that these every single day a new case is being registered against Aam Aadmi Party. In 7 years, 180 cases have been registered against Aam Aadmi Party leaders, but not evidence of 1 rupee of corruption has been found because we are an honest party. We are a party working for the people of this country.
No, but Atishi,
that is why,
to play the devil's advocate again, a party themselves can't give them a clean sheet saying we're an honest party. If there are cases against their leaders, then possibly the party should also rethink as to why these cases are taking place. And why do you still have a minister who's still in jail?
It is very clear. It is because Bharatiya Janata Party.
Okay, Atishi, I just apologize for interrupting because we are now getting a tweet by Arvind Kejriwal, who in fact is now tweeted, and this is what it says, that tomorrow morning Manish Sisodia is going to Gujarat for election campaign. So after Manish Sisodia was questioned and grilled by the CBI today, now the update coming in is, and this is what Arvind Kejriwal has confirmed in the form of a tweet, that tomorrow morning Manish Sisodia is going to Gujarat for an election campaign. RP Singh, how do you see this update?
Well, Atishi is still not answering the questions about the scam. She is shifting the goalpost to education. Let me just give you a little bit on the education also. Out of the 1,050 schools, more than 834 schools don't have the principals, 470 schools don't have the vice principals, and 778 schools don't have science and commerce. And almost 16,832 teachers are temporary teachers. So there is their education model in Delhi which they go and gaga about. But coming back to the issue, they should go and campaign, and people of Gujarat will tell them what do they think about the scamsters? What do they think about people who compare themselves as scamsters as Mahatma Gandhi ji? So they will give the appropriate answer, as people of Uttarakhand and Goa has already given the answer by ensuring that they lose the deposit. The CM candidate lost the deposit. The whole of the Himachal party has shifted to BJP. Wait for time.
Okay.
Gujarat and Himachal will prove that they have been debunked in the history as far as the electoral politics goes.
Okay, confident BJP is saying that even if you use this opportunity to build some sort of victim, maybe get some sort of sympathy on the ground, the numbers will paint a different story. Unfortunately, I'll have to leave the conversation there. I appreciate all our guests joining us this evening. We are slipping into a very short break, but don't go anywhere because after we come back, elections for a non-Gandhi Congress president take place.